So, Brendan, have you seen the Kevin Costner movie?
Yeah, the new one I saw.
It was action from beginning to end. I almost choked on my milk toast 3 times.
All of the actors in the film looked excited to be there.
And it was so exciting, filled with hacking and computers, because hacking and computers equal excitement.
That's math we could all agree on.
And that's about as much that we can muster up for this movie. Oh my god, this movie.
And right off the bat, okay, so Criminal. This is the 2016 film Criminal, starring Kevin Costner. I have to do a complete what is it called when you have an opinion and then you have to completely do a 180 on it?
A redaction and retcon?
A redaction. I have to do a complete redaction on my review that I gave this movie when it came out.
No, sorry. Retraction.
Retraction.
Redaction is when you black it out, like with a permanent marker,
which
they should have done with every line in this script.
Like a CIA document. Hey!
Yep.
But I have to do a complete retraction because I somehow, some way, when this movie came out, I gave it a 3.5 stars out of 5.
You know what? When I was looking for some of the positive reviews and negative reviews of this, even the positive reviews that gave it things like 3 and 4 out of 5 stars were still talking about how ridiculous this movie was.
Yeah, this movie was something else. Oh, yeah, so let's take it to task right off the bat, because this movie came out, this movie was obviously filmed many years before 2016. Because I feel like this movie was sitting on the video shelves of whatever company made this movie, not released for years, and then when Deadpool came out and Batman vs. Superman came out, Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot, who are both in this movie, were fairly big name. Well, Ryan Reynolds already a big name, but definitely a hot topic at the time because of Deadpool. Gal Gadot because of Wonder Woman in Batman vs. Superman. This movie came to the theater where I am employed, and they quite proudly stated starring Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot. Oh, and also Kevin Costner. Like, they are the focal points.
I took his amount of time in this movie and jotted it down because I'd actually heard that before I even started to watch it originally. The thing that made me recommend it for our podcast, I had heard that they were like starring Ryan Reynolds, and when I watched like the first, I think probably half hour, 45 minutes of it, where all the stuff that I saw that made me go, okay, this is a great one for the podcast, he was gone in like 10 minutes.
Is it even 10?
No, it is actually, I clocked it in at 10 minutes. I checked my watch when he first popped up on screen. When I was watching this, it was 7:03, and then when he got, spoiler alert, died, I checked my watch, 7:13, exactly 10 minutes in the entire movie, if you don't count the part later on where you see his reflection in the mirror.
So 10 minutes and 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, by the way, not a spoiler alert, because he's not the main character, just in case you didn't know.
No, just his character is the main character.
He is not, though.
He is not, yeah.
Also, what is with
Ryan... This is like a real shitty version of Face Off, without the other guy getting the switcheroo.
Okay, and also, what is with Ryan Reynolds and these weird, like, movies where he gets surgery? Like,
I don't know, because I saw Selfless, and I know exactly what you're driving at.
And I think Selfless is a slightly better movie.
Oh, it's a way better movie than this.
Yeah. Also, it happens in Deadpool.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure, does he get some kind of surgery in Green Lantern?
I didn't see Green Lantern because I don't like Green Lantern.
And I'm pretty sure it happened on an episode of Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place at some point.
Just when they gave the show a facelift.
Right, they took out the pizza place. And I don't know if you guys saw that on Twitter, but the poster is a blatant lie that they used to promote that show, because there were like 3 guys and 3 girls on that, or 3 guys and 2 girls on that poster.
Yeah, but who owned the pizza place?
I don't know.
Was it 2 guys and a girl?
I guess so. I don't recall that show very much.
I don't either. I just remember Clerks making fun of it when that was on air for like 10 seconds.
Did you hear who turned down the lead role in this movie?
No.
Okay, brace yourself. The lead role that Kevin Costner plays in this movie was turned down by Nicolas Cage.
You know what? If Nicolas Cage says your movie is too out there for me, you should just go get another script.
Nicolas Cage.
Call it a day.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage read the script and was like, I would never attach my name to this trash.
Oh, come on. No, if you're going to do it, do the Cage impression.
Wait. The script is garbage.
Spot on.
Thanks. I think it was more Keanu Reeves. Yeah. So, also, okay, if this was any other movie, holy shit, what a cast.
Any movie. This movie has a fantastic cast. It's another one. It's like 9 Lives in that everybody who's in this movie deserves such a better movie to do.
Well, maybe not Jennifer Garner.
Okay. But still.
I just want to point out one that's like, it's not like a huge star, but Alice Eve, who I find is a pretty good actress, and like she's charming and everything. She literally has 3 lines. She's in the movie for about an hour. She plays the CIA agent that gets shot later. She has 3 lines.
Oh, yeah.
And all her lines are like mechanical, like blah, 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 blah. We
like our intro.
Yeah.
Quick, track his GPS.
There's no chemistry between anyone.
No.
Zero chemistry between anyone in this movie. Everyone looks like they'd rather die than be there.
I feel if Ryan Reynolds and Wonder Woman had shared some actual screen time, there might have been something there between the two of them, because their banter on the phone was kind of fun, but that's it.
And that's the thing, too. This movie claims, starring Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot. Not only are they barely in the movie, Gal Gadot has a little bit more screen time, but they aren't even in a scene together.
Yeah.
They're in a scene over the phone where they recorded it on like 2 different days.
Of course.
Like they should, because that would make sense.
Yeah. No phone conversation in movies ever done live.
They didn't have one person in one room and one person in the other room.
All right, now you go. Camera 2, camera 1. Camera 2, camera 1.
This is long distance. Let's make this quick. All right, so I think we do have some critics stuff, but I think we're gonna save it to the end. We got a brand new segment.
Yes.
Coming up later. Well, not kind of brand new. But let's talk about how.
A little bit later on the countdown, but first here's a long distance dedication.
Perfect. We got Casey Kasem on the line.
Back from the dead.
Oh shit. Dead Casey Kasem. We finally got a character on the show.
You know what? It's been a while. I think we're okay to kind of joke about it. Oh. Although it is really odd to hear them replay his old radio shows on the radio.
That is odd. Why would they do that?
Oh, because American Top 40.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, how do we get this thing started?
Let's just jump right into it, man.
And let me just say, movie, you don't need to put people's names on the screen.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
We hear Bill Pope, who Ryan Reynolds plays. We hear his name about 17,000 times. So
I think we hear his name more than he actually was on screen. Like, more time. Like, if you added up the amount of times it took people to say Bill Pope or Pope, and you put it all together, it probably took up more time in the movie than he actually was on screen.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we start with Bill Pope. Oh,
Bill
no,
Pope.
we don't. We start with Kevin Costner.
Yes, on the beach.
This movie absolutely needed that stupid fucking movie cliche of a wraparound.
Oh, but you know what? It did set the tone for this movie because I felt that its credo kind of bounced back onto me. Maybe it felt like I was making fun of it because I picked it for our podcast, and it knew that I was trying to hurt it, so it decided to hurt me way worse.
That message was specifically for you.
Yeah, from Kevin Costner.
Did you think it was weird that when you got the copy of the movie, it was sent to you by K. Costner?
Uploaded to Netflix by K. Costner.
And then he said, you know what, that's too obvious. Let's just call him Kevin C.
So yeah, we get that opening credo or, whatever Jericho lives by. I couldn't stop making a million It, Scarf, and List jokes while I was watching this movie in my head.
You just shot me in the head? You just made the list! Every single time, like Jericho, they say Jericho, they mention Jericho, I just want to make a Scarf or List joke. I know it makes me a mark, but I don't care because it would have been really interesting to see Chris Jericho do this role.
Right. Yep. I could only think of Chris Jericho while I heard his name too. And like, holy shit, Jericho Stewart is in the running for the amount of times they say his name in the movie.
Yeah. If you made a drinking game out of every time one of their names is said, you'd be wasted before the half-hour mark.
This is like the opposite of one of those movies where, you'll watch a movie and you'll see that, oh, this character, the actor played this character in the movie, and you're like, oh, that was their name the whole time. If you didn't know Ryan Reynolds' character's name in this movie, by the end of it, you did not watch the movie.
No, you just sat around playing Candy Crush or thinking of better Ryan Reynolds movies.
Even if you looked up from your Candy Crush game once, you would have...
Are they talking about the Pope? No, I'm going back. I'm on level 125.
Yeah, I'm crushing it right now.
Boo.
Okay, so Kevin Costner scene aside, we start more or less with Ryan Reynolds in the course of luring some villains, I guess, to a location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't quite catch his name, but I dubbed him Swarthy McForeign.
Swarthy McForeign.
He was really swarthy and very foreign.
Oh, Javier Hemdahl.
Okay,
every name in this movie is insane. Okay, Bill Pope. His wife's name, by the way, is Jill Pope.
Billy and Jilly.
We got Jericho Stewart, Marta Lynch, Javier Hemdahl, and my personal favorite, Gary Oldman plays Quaker Wells.
Don't forget Jan Struck,
and Tommy Lee Jones is Dr. Franks.
It's like they spent most of the budget trying to think up all the names, and they just slapped the goddamn script together.
Really, though, like, nobody... These all sound like made-up names.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Bill Pope is picking up a briefcase full of money because we don't know this yet, but he wants to make a deal with the Dutchman who has some sort of wormhole program that controls all like the nukes in the world, because of course it does. And as you said, what did you call him?
What did I call? Ooh, Jan Struck?
No,
Swarthy McForeign.
Swarthy McForeign, who, by the way, apparently can see everything at any given time.
Yeah, because hacking equals action.
Right. And apparently he can see cameras in the back of taxis.
Now, here's the thing about that. And I get that it seems a tad ridiculous, but they are in London, correct?
Yes.
Yes, you couldn't tell because of the giant Ferris wheel and Big Ben and Tower Bridge and London Bridge and everything else is super London, except all the people in the movie who are all American. And London actually has a rather large CCTV system throughout it.
Okay.
And I think that's one of the only reasons why they did. I don't know if they picked this location or the city to do it in because it's there's so much of it. That's where the whole Orwell thing comes into play. Big Brother's watching you and all this. So I get that, but I have a hard time believing that they have like the government's the closed circuit TV extends to cabbies.
Yeah, and I really doubt that the filmmakers even knew about that. I think it was just a happy accident.
Here's the thing: they made good use of it in Fast and the Furious 6.
Okay.
Yes. Furious 6 or whatever it was called. They even Dwayne The Rock Johnson knows about the CCTV, and he goes and they get the closed caption security feeds and stuff so they can. You know what? If I should stop right now because I'm just gonna end up start talking about Furious 6, which I enjoyed way more than this movie. So, but yeah, Swarthy McForrin apparently can see everything through the closed caption, or like not closed caption, closed circuit TV of London, England.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he has access to everything in the world at any given moment, which begs the question, why does he need this guy's program? He could clearly, if he's that smart, he could probably just make a program.
Yeah. Or, just keep watching all the closed circuit TV and compile a blackmail tape.
Uh-huh. Or, find the Dutchman.
Well, there's that. But, I mean, let's not get too off into the field of logic and cool-headedness, Brendan.
Right. You're right. This movie is not appropriate for that kind of...
it would not benefit from it at all.
No. And we should mention right off the bat, just so nobody's confused, the Dutchman is a guy that has some wormhole program, like I said, controls like governments, you're able
missile
to like...
Missile defense and stuff like
missile
that.
Defense, yeah. And basically, Swarthy McForrin wants it because he hates governments, and that's all we get, by the way. And the CIA
we get
wants...
that because he's interviewed by Piers Morgan.
Yeah, in a movie about brains, we have Piers Morgan.
He played a journalist. The best acting I saw in the entire movie.
Oh, you mean like he does
playing against character
on
the
show?
Entire time?
Because he was a good guy?
Because he was a journalist.
Yeah.
Piers Morgan played against character.
Fuck you, Piers Morgan.
What? Do something. Do something.
Yeah. Tweet us, bro.
Hit us up on the Twitter.
Yeah, fuck Piers Morgan. But yeah, he basically, Swarthy McForrin wants it because he doesn't like governments, and he wants all the governments to fall. But like I said, he literally says nothing else about it. That's just what he feels. The CIA wants it because, they don't want that shit to happen. And Bill Pope is trying to get it. I think he's trying to get it for the CIA, correct?
Yes, we find out that he's actually trying to answer to the ransom or the demands or the requirements that the Dutchman has set forth. He wants like the money and amnesty and asylum. He's basically pulling a Snowden so much though that they actually mention Snowden in his demands. Yeah. He says he wants a better deal than Snowden got.
Which, yeah.
Topical.
Look at us. Oh, also, I like that the Swarthy McForrin is in a church when he's doing this. It's like, oh, look at us, good and evil. Whoa!
Yeah, the subtlety is not a big thing in this movie.
No, it is not. So Bill Pope is basically trying to arrange a meeting with the Dutchman. He notices all the baddies following him, so he decides to lure them into a CIA trap, I guess.
At a cement factory.
At a cement factory, which, yeah, okay, cement factory. Sure, whatever, we'll go with it. When he gets in the cab, he
Oi, 20 quid to use your mobile, mate.
Yeah, right. Why why wouldn't you be like if you're a CIA operative, why wouldn't you get in the cab and be like, okay, listen, get out? Like,
or,
I'm
at the very least, just say in your super American voice, oh, can I use your phone?
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling that as cute it is for people to try to use colloquialisms, I have a feeling that locals would find it super insulting if you talk to them that way.
Yeah, like, I get him saying 20 quid, but, like, you're mobile? Come on.
Yeah. Nobody says that. Not North America, anyways.
Also,
right America.
Also, if I'm the cab driver and a guy comes in and says, "Listen, drive me to this weird cement factory. Can I use your phone to text someone? And also, here's $20 extra."
Well, it was $20 to use the phone.
Right, but I probably would rethink it. You want to go to a weird cement factory and you just use my phone? Nah.
Nope. Get out on your bike. Jog on.
Yeah, also before that, he gets on a motorcycle. Why doesn't he just stay on the motorcycle?
He's doing what he can to shake them, right? So that's the best explanation I could make.
But is he trying to shake them? Because he's trying to lure them too, I thought.
Oh, I don't know, Brendan.
Okay. Then if he's trying to shake them, then why does he get in the cab and say, "Don't go that fast"?
Yeah, drive, but not too fast.
Yeah, like when he said that, I was like, oh, okay, maybe he's trying to lure them to the cement factory?
Well, maybe he just thought that Swarthy McForrin wasn't going to hack the GPS in the cabbie's cell phone and redirect them to the other. Hacking is action!
Right, and the hacking is, like, insane. Also, okay, fine. He has all these hacking skills. Okay, fine. But how come he can do it in literally 30 seconds?
Because computers are magic. Hacking is action and computers are magic. That's how movies work. So,
in your, with your logic then, the entire film Hackers is magic?
Absolutely. Gandalf, man, if I could get a Johnny Lee Miller on my side.
I need to rewatch Hackers.
That movie, woo. Yikes. I remember when, that was a big thing for me. And now movie, I just think it's fucking hilarious.
It's dreadful.
Yep. Even when I watched it as a teenager, I was like, computers aren't like that.
Yeah, at least this movie has a somewhat updated computer system.
Well, at least they didn't do like a fly through cityscape every time they were hacking.
That's true. So
he gets captured. He gets captured by the baddies.
He shoots a few of them.
Yeah. But then they melt his fillings.
Yeah, and like for a CIA agent, he has some of the worst strategy ever. Like his shooting strategy is just to move from side to side and hope he doesn't get shot.
Yeah, and like announce when you're out of ammo.
Yeah. Damn it, I'm out.
Essentially, telling it to nobody, so they can all be like, okay, he doesn't have any more ammunition, let's just move in and capture him.
Did you think it was weird when he was out, though, and then we cut away and then cut back and he's already tied up? Like, they didn't even, there wasn't even a part where they kind of moved in on him. They just kind of was like, oh, he's tied up now.
Well, then they cut back to, the CIA headquarters where Gary Oldman is yelling at people.
You mean Quaker Wells?
Quakers, the meekest non-violent people in the world. Let's name the yelliest character in the movie after them.
Quaker Oats.
So they torture him, and they melt his teeth, and he dies. 10 minutes in.
And the stupid CIA go to the wrong cement factory.
Well, yeah. Well, no, they go to the right cement factory because the GPS got hacked and they got sent the wrong. I felt bad for the cabbie. All he was doing was getting an extra $20.
He gets shot in the face.
I know. He didn't do anything to anybody.
Yeah.
Poor Bill the cabbie.
Poor Bill. Was that his name?
William, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. If they're the CIA, couldn't they tell that like someone was hacking that phone and changing like the GPS
you know
and
what?
shit?
As the movie progressed, no, they couldn't.
No, they are actually pretty dumb in this movie.
And all Gary Oldman does is yell at people for his mistakes.
Yep.
While they keep making mistakes as well. It's absolute Keystone Cops for the for the CIA.
My theory on Gary Oldman in this movie, I honestly think Gary Oldman is one of the greatest actors around. However, in this movie, I think he was just like, I know this is trash. I'm just going to overact the shit out of it.
Oh, boy, does he. Oh, I'm surprised he didn't put on like 10 pounds from chewing the scenery.
That's right. But I mean, like, it's so crazy because he's so good in tons of other movies.
Dude, Laurence Olivier could have been in this movie with Alec Guinness, and it still would have been terrible.
Dude, I would watch the shit out of that.
Oh, well, Alec Guinness yells at everybody, and Laurence Olivier plays Jericho Stewart.
Oh my god! Or like you were talking about earlier, why not just go full tilt and have Chris Jericho play Jericho Stewart? And his whole name
would
could
make
be
the retelling of his story more interesting.
His whole name could be Chris Jericho Stewart.
Chris Jericho Stewart.
I gotta say though, Javier is not a very patient man because he's like, "Where's the Dutchman? Fuck you!" And then he kills him.
He's got some severe bipolar going on. That character, Swarthy.
Yeah. And then he also tells him a random, like, he says, "You should see slaughterhouses where we kill the pigs with this, or we kill the cows."
Yeah, the things we do to them.
I was like, "Why? You work in a slaughterhouse?"
Maybe that's why he got into hacking. He just couldn't take being a slaughterhouse employee anymore.
Also, did you recognize Swarthy McForrin from another film?
No, I didn't.
He is the bad guy in Bad Boys 2.
Oh, okay. It's been about, essentially a decade since I saw that movie.
I recognize the name sort of, so then I looked it up, and it is indeed the same person.
Yeah, the only person that really that sticks out for me from Bad Boys 2 was Henry Rollins was in it for a cup of coffee, and Peter Stormare, or Stromae.
Yeah.
He's great in that movie.
Yes.
Moving on.
Yeah, so they kill Bill Pope, so that's it for Ryan Reynolds in the movie.
That's not the last you've heard of Bill Pope, though, because they're going to say his name a few times.
So here is where the movie gets ridiculous. Oh, also when they try to revive him. Clear, no, he's dead.
Here's where I knew this movie was going to be ridiculous. Tommy Lee Jones was in it, and he wasn't playing a grizzled agent.
No, he was playing a forward-thinking scientist.
Yep. Everybody in this movie was playing against character. You think about it. Every single one of them.
Especially Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner as an action hero. I think I've only seen him... 3 Days to Kill is the only other movie where I've seen him be like kind of an action star baddie type. And
that got rave reviews, right?
Oh, yeah. Tommy Lee Jones is a forward-thinking scientist, not a grizzled government agent. Gary Oldman, with no subtlety to his portrayal of his character whatsoever.
None.
Ryan Reynolds being in it for 10 minutes.
You know what? I gotta say, for those 10 minutes, Ryan Reynolds is not terrible. He's probably the best part of the movie. He was delightful. And also, I think the other person that comes out of this unscathed is maybe Gal Gadot.
Oh, well, unscathed.
I'm not saying she's great in the movie, but she definitely doesn't go over the top is terrible at any point. She definitely does what she can.
She's believable as the grieving widow.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so
he's dead, and they get Tommy Lee Jones as a doctor who's working on a memory transferal.
Yeah.
And because Kevin Costner, as a thug, which I never ever thought I would say, had some severe frontal lobe damage when he was a kid.
Right.
And that story that he tells, my mom told my dad that I wasn't his, so he threw me out of a car door.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently that gave him, like, frontal lobe damage, so he has no ability to, like, no impulse control, no sense of proportion or anything like that in regards to, like, how his actions affect people or how any consequences that his actions will bring about. So because of that, he apparently is the perfect candidate to have all of the memories, which, if you believe this movie, are stored in the frontal lobe of your brain, transferred from Ryan Reynolds into him.
Right. And let's just talk about how insane this plan is, even if the science is real.
Brendan, it doesn't sound as insane in the movie because they have a British fellow explain it.
Oh, I apologize. But, like... Okay.
Not Tommy Lee Jones, not the doctor who pioneered it and has been working on it for 18 years, apparently. They get a lab tech kid who looks like he's fresh out of university with his degrees. He explains it all, so it sounds super, if you'll pardon the pun, cerebral.
I will pardon the pun, because I like that one.
Thank you.
But, okay. Your CIA, one of your top agents dies. Okay. He knows where this Dutchman is. Nobody else knows. He's the only one that knew. He dies. So your first thought is, let's have this groundbreaking science by this doctor that we know, perform a surgery on a death row inmate who is crazy to the tits, like insane.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like a psycho.
Mentally unstable, to say the least.
And put the memories in him, and it should be fine.
Yeah.
He'll just lead us right to them. Like, so that is the premise of the movie.
Yep. So they do the surgery, which looks painful as hell. So kudos to them on at least making that look believable and traumatic.
Yeah.
Kevin Costner, or Jericho, wakes up. He doesn't have his scarf or his list. And, oh, actually, no. During the, I just made a quick note. I was happy with my brilliant witticism. During the surgery, he's about to die because they have a spike in temperature, and Gary Oldman, surprised, starts yelling at people. And says, "Do you think I give a shit if this guy dies?" And I just wrote, "Oh, Gary Oldman is Gary Coldman." Let that lay right there.
Gary Oldman yells at son.
So, yeah. Well, but then, as I said, Kevin Costner comes out of it, and all he does is yell at him. The guy's just had major brain surgery, and he just yells at him.
Immediately, Kevin Costner wakes up from his brain surgery. Within seconds, Gary Oldman is like, "Tell me everything you know, Bill Pope!"
Yeah, and he's like, "Why are you messing with me? I'm really fuzzy and confused."
He's like, "Bill, what's your daughter's name? It's Emma. What's your wife's name? It's Jill."
Even if Jericho Stewart had been a well-balanced, level-headed dude, I don't think he would respond well in this situation anyways.
I think Gary Oldman still would have freaked out at him. Oh my god. Yeah, I have my note here as Costner wakes up and Oldman is immediately, "Tell me everything you know, Bill Pope."
Yeah, let's agitate the frontal lobe patient who's confused and, possibly psychotically dangerous.
At least Tommy Lee Jones has some fucking, like, sensibility to him.
Yeah, he keeps like, please stop. Just calm down.
Yeah.
And he just keeps yelling.
Gary Oldman literally is like, as soon as Jericho wakes up, he says, "Everyone leave the room!" Not you, Tommy Lee Jones. You can stay, I guess.
Oh, and yeah. He's like, you need to take this pill, and Gary Oldman won't let him take the pill.
Right. He's like, "No, suffer. I'm talking to you right now."
So he figures that the surgery is a failure, and they're gonna dust old Kevin Costner.
Yeah, he pretty much tells the agents to have him killed, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he says, "Take out the trash."
Yeah, there's twice he uses that euphemism to kill him. He wants this convict dead.
Yep. Which, I got a question. Do we ever find out exactly what he did?
They just say he was in and out of prisons his whole life, and it was due to the fact that he has no impulse control.
So we never find out, like...
Never what he specifically did, no.
Which, I'm just going to say, maybe it was important to do that.
Well, I mean, they definitely established that he has no impulse control and that he's willing to kill people for the slightest of things. If you didn't know that before, you do know that during his escape.
Oh my god. Okay, so they decide to basically off him. And Tommy Lee Jones, Dr. Franks, whatever the fuck, what do you want to call that guy?
Dr. Franks?
Dr. Franks?
Dr. Franks.
We'll just go with Dr. Let's call him Frank. Anyway, Frank gives him a pill. I think it's just like to numb the pain. Does Frank know that they're gonna off him?
He has an idea because he says, "You take care of yourself."
Okay.
And the thing is, I think he knows like the drugs that he's giving him or that he's gonna give him will help with the the confusion or the blurry headedness, because he even tells I think Oldman's character that they need to take a minute to have them take effect, while Gary Oldman won't give him the pill and keeps yelling at him.
Gary Oldman is not having it.
Yeah, so when he finally does get the pill, the doctor gives him another one and he says, you take care of yourself. He's essentially saying that, you're going to be fine. And if, he's kind of giving like a silent consent that, you know what, do what you got to do to not get killed by these, bloodless CIA agents. They're not bloodless, by the way.
Okay, and Gary Oldman in this movie, you know what? I completely lost my thought. I don't know what I was going to say.
Well, then we'll just move it on to the part where Kevin Costner eats part of the door.
Oh, well, hold on. Before we get to that, we do have a scene with the Dutchman. Which
yes.
I found...
Rosie Perez was on the phone first.
Right. The Dutchman uses a phone to call Bill Pope's house. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is a guy who apparently no one knows where he is, but Bill Pope gave the Dutchman his personal phone number.
Well, he was trying to help bring him in, so maybe he did it in some sort of confidence. Don't forget the guy's also a world-class hacker, so I mean, he might not have given it to him. He might have just got it from, the information superhighway. People are still saying that, right? Information superhighway?
I guess so. And then when he calls and Gal Gadot, Jill, when she answers...
Wonder Woman!
What's that?
Wonder Woman!
And Wonder Woman. When Wonder Woman answers the phone, she says, he says, is Bill there? And she says, who's this? And he says, oh, Jan Strook.
I'm a friend of his from way back.
And she says, he's dead. Like, I just found too much information was given on both sides.
Yeah.
Why would he say his name?
I have a feeling
Like,
that she knew that he was a government agent, but she didn't know exactly the sort of stuff he was into.
Maybe, but like when she hears his name, she doesn't really react like she knows him.
No, well, that's it. She doesn't know him, but
Okay.
She would find it believable that he would know a guy named Jan Strook through work because she doesn't know exactly what he does for work.
Well, if someone's working with her husband, shouldn't they know that he died?
Didn't he say he was like it was like from way back?
Maybe.
Friend?
Yeah. Okay, well then fine.
I really want to move
the
on
Dutchman
to the
should
part
not be
where
giving out.
Costner eats part of the door.
I'm just saying the Dutchman shouldn't give out his full name over the phone. And I'll leave it at that.
He should know better than that as a paranoid anti-government hacker. He should know better.
And by the way, Michael Pitt doing the worst accent ever.
He's supposed to be anonymous. Huh? See what I did there?
I did. I do see what you do there.
Oh, good
All right,
times.
talk about Kevin Costner eating the door.
He eats part of the door to escape.
And fashions it into a knife.
Into like a hook that he crams into the driver's jugular.
Okay.
Easily the bloodiest part of the entire movie.
What are his teeth made out of? Daggers?
Maybe he had them filed down because he was in prison and he knew he needed that sort of thing to survive.
I was like... I was wondering how he would make it out of that car, and eating part of the door never came to mind.
But this is where you find out that as Jericho, he will do anything to survive, and he doesn't really care. He has no impulse control because, first of all, he heads them on into a head-on collision, and then he kills the driver of the other car who didn't do anything to him. He takes a cigarette, throws him in the back of the car, and then lights the car on fire.
Did he kill the other guy, or did he just punch him?
No, he punched him, dragged him out of the car, zip-tied him, and put him in the back seat where he was sitting. Blew up the car, so it looked like the agents were killed and him.
Very convenient, too, that the guy that he punches, his cigarette was still lit on the seat.
Yeah.
He takes a few puffs, and then poof.
Blows it up because
also I have to take Kevin Costner to task in this scene because cool guys don't look at explosions, and he clearly turned around.
Don't look. You just walk away from the explosion. You don't look back.
You don't look back, and he did, and I have to take him to task. I know this is one of his first like action star roles, so I'll give him a break. But come on, Kevin, next time.
Just keep walking.
Just keep walking.
Yeah.
Go to ask Denzel if you need to.
Another better Ryan Reynolds movie. Safe House with Denzel.
Oh, Safe House. I never saw that.
It's pretty good. Better than this movie.
That's surprising. So, Jericho... Okay, now this happens at two different times, but I wanted to mention both here. Because there are two separate occasions where he assaults someone in a restaurant, and then in a coffee shop, no one calls the police.
Yeah.
No one does anything. They just go, oh.
Hey, what's this guy's issue?
Yeah. He, goes up and orders food, steals someone else's food and drink, and they're just kind of like, whatever. And then he knocks out three guys in the parking lot, and everyone just kind of watches.
I have a feeling they're like, let's just get some locals in, and we'll get them to write the dialogue here, because it is nothing but slang. Oi! This is out of order. Jog on, mate.
Yeah, and Costner beats the shit out of them.
Yeah, he absolutely did.
He takes that guy's cooler and just smashes his face. I think he kills one of them. Because he hits him with the cooler.
What's wrong with your face? And they cheer that. And then he's like, I'm taking your van. They're like, oh, this guy's out of order. Let's sort him out. Jog on now, mate.
Yeah. And then he just biffs him with the fucking car door.
Yeah.
And then he
takes the guy's hat, throws it on, and says, my head was cold.
My head was cold. The hat out. and then we get the Kevin Costner rocking out the techno music scene.
Yeah, the last cowboy in this town, where he sees the two dudes making out and starts laughing, which apparently to him, gay dudes are hilarious.
And like, come on, Kevin, you just got out of prison. You've seen that.
Yeah.
He acts like he's never seen it before. Although in prison, if it came down to it, he probably would be the one doing it to others. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
More than likely.
I'm just saying he doesn't look like he's a submissive type.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then, then we get the very convenient flashbacks whenever the plot calls for it.
Remember.
Exactly. They might as well have said that.
Yeah.
Because he remembers Jill lives and Emma.
Mm-hmm.
And what the security code is.
Yes.
And he walks in and ties them up.
And I thought it was going to get a little rapey there for a second.
Yep. I actually would like to say that there is a missed opportunity in this movie. Because, actually, you know what? I'll bring this up later because this is a little bit of a later thing. But, okay. Yeah, never mind. Let's go back to it.
All right. And this is the part where he looks in the mirror and he sees Ryan Reynolds' reflection.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Did you see that, brother?
No, I didn't see it. It was on live TV and the audience saw it, but I didn't see it.
The commentators commented about it.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Fucking hell. One of the worst wrestling storylines of all time. That's saying something.
Culminating in the worst wrestling match of all time.
Oh, you mean you didn't like the spot where he tried to throw fire at him like 4 times and it kept fucking up?
Yeah, fantastic. I really did like one of his lines here coming up though, where he starts rattling off all the information, and he's like, "Yeah, I know some stuff."
Where with Jericho?
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, I know stuff."
I know stuff. 6969 is the code, right? Which I'm like, come on. What, a 5-year-old write this movie?
A 12-year-old, actually.
Okay, maybe I'm just giving kids too much credit.
I don't know how many 5-year-olds would find 6969 a funny number, but I know a few 13-year-olds who would think it was hilarious.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking like 8008 would be a funny number to them.
80085.
Oh, yeah, there you go. 2 is better than 1. Yeah, so he just like, yeah, it did feel like it was going to get a bit rapey.
Yeah, but no, Wonder Woman uses her toe to set off the alarm.
Which he then calls and immediately shuts off.
Because he's like, yeah, no, she tripped it. And he's like talking to like what? He's talking to one of his Bill Pope's former friends. And he's like, oh yeah, no, it's fine. I'm Bill Pope.
I know Bill Pope was in the CIA, but I would think his security system was handled by a security company.
Not the CIA?
Yeah. Because the security alarm goes off, and it's like, CIA, is everything okay? And the way the guy answers the phone, or the way the guy notices the alarm is the ominous delivery. He's like, the alarm just got set off at the Pope residence.
Which sounds like something's going drastically wrong in Vatican City.
Right. And that would be a much more interesting movie.
Starring Jude Law as the young Pope.
Man. So now we learn that because, I don't know why, because let's just throw something else into the plot. Because that the Dutchman is planning on selling his program to Russians, maybe.
Because the Russians!
Yeah, because the Russians. That's exactly why he's planning on doing it. because they offered him protection, and swarthy McFaurin is very upset, as is the CIA.
This is the note I have here for like lines to sell this movie. Thrill to the exciting FaceTime scene.
Yeah. Hacking scenes abound.
Here's the thing, guys. Anybody who works with computers in any way, shape, or form knows that they are not exciting ever.
No.
So they should never be an exciting plot point of your movie involving hacking, FaceTime, or any other way that you're going to communicate on a computer outside of maybe 5 seconds or 10 seconds to send an email or a quick communique and then roll on into a shootout, because computers are not that exciting.
You know what? I'm thinking of not a similar plot necessarily, but a similarly crazy plot movie that did it so much better, and that's Face Off.
Yes.
That movie is legitimately great, and the plot is not so crazy pants, but they knew it was crazy pants, and they embraced it.
Yeah.
I feel like this movie does not embrace it. Everyone is so super serious.
Oh, There
playing
was no
it completely straight, no camp, no cheese. Like, at least some of the movies we've covered on here have sort of kind of embraced it.
Yeah. They've all had a certain tongue-in-cheek element to them.
Maybe not Hollywood Homicide. And maybe in Gene Simmons' mind, not Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park.
Yeah.
He probably thought that was
I'll
serious.
give you that one.
It's going to win me my first Oscar.
We should do that for an anniversary or something sometime, so we can have a good quality version of that one out there.
Oh, another episode of Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park?
Yeah, like revisit it or something. We can do the Scooby-Doo one.
Oh my god. Wait, what?
Yeah. Remember I told you when we did that they remade it, but as like an episode, like a Scooby-Doo movie.
Scooby-Doo meets Kiss?
Yeah, and they meet the Phantom of the Park.
Oh my god.
Yep, that's about it. Anyways,
where are we?
Rocking on. He's pawning stuff. Trash for cash, as he says.
But not that brush.
Nope, because that's Emma's.
He suddenly... Well, because, like, Bill Pope's emotions and memory... Yeah, emotions, too, by the way, which I thought it was just his memories. But his emotions are affecting him as well. So
well, yes, because that part of his... If we're to believe the science of it, because of the frontal lobe damage, he can't process any emotion other than anger.
Yes,
or joy. Like, that's it. Yeah, there's no subtleties.
The science of it.
Get a British guy to explain it.
Hey, you. Hey, PA over there. You got a British accent?
Me? Yeah, I'll tell you. His brain's all messed up, and they...
and they put
that
the
didn't
mash
sound brainy at all.
We put the mush in the masher. Maybe if Mother Superior had explained it.
Oh, you don't like your emotions? Well, it's gonna get way worse.
You think your brain's messed up now? Wait till you got another man's thoughts in your head. Yeah. Okay,
so he needs some walking around money. He pawns some stuff, and then he goes to, as the guy that he beats up calls it, the patisserie.
Oh, are you talking about the coffee shop?
Yeah, the coffee shop.
Oh, when he starts speaking Spanish?
French.
Okay, I know he's not supposed to be the smartest guy, but come on. He starts speaking French and then he says, Spanish, motherfucker.
Speaking Spanish, motherfucker.
Like, you know that's French, Kevin Costner.
This is what happens when you correct Jericho. You get put on the list. So you better watch.
You get hit with the fists of Jericho.
Fists of Jericho.
Punch you in the face, man.
Well, he just wanted his macchiato so he could drink it in.
Right, and his pamplemousse.
So then he leaves, and he's trying to find where Bill Pope stored his cash and all the stuff for the Dutchman.
Right.
And he figures it's the library.
Gotta
But
be the
apparently,
library.
next to the library, there's a place that serves hot salt beef.
Serves what?
Hot salt beef. I saw a sign I noticed the weirdest things when I watch these movies, and this was one of them. There was a sign next to before we went into the library that said hot salt beef served here, and I was like, that doesn't sound appetizing at all.
Hot salt beef.
Yep.
Not
some
even
sort of pork dish too, and I didn't read the whole sign though.
Not even salted beef, but like salt beef.
Hot salt beef.
Sounds delightful. Also, isn't the restaurant he goes into earlier, it's called Chicken Run?
Yes. I thought that was hilarious. It just made me think of a way better movie.
Chicken Run is vastly superior to this
You should
film.
not mention better movies in your terrible movie. That's right.
No. If they would have put a reference to Face Off in this movie, death knell.
Yeah, I would have turned it off and started watching Face Off.
Right? And Face Off is a long ass movie, and I would rather watch it than this.
Yep.
Okay.
He goes into the library and talks
Goes in the
to
library.
the librarian.
You mean Sugar Puss?
Oh, Sugar Puss, yeah. Excuse me, sir. There is a queue if you hadn't noticed. Yeah, and I'm at the front of it, Sugar Puss. Where's your Georgie Orwell?
George Orwell. That's what he says. Okay, because I had a real hard time understanding what he asked.
Yeah.
Also, okay, another thing here. You know it's George, you fucking idiot. No Georgie. So he goes and looks for the money in that Georgie Orwell section. And guess what? It's not there. But he does log into the computer.
And he's smart enough to know how to lock them out of his searches.
Right, but not enough. Not smart enough to pronounce the word George.
Yep.
So yeah, he locks them out, and then the CIA arrives to the library. Of course, after he's already gone,
because he's looking for Dr. Franks.
Dr. Frank. Now I'm starting to think Dr. Frankenstein.
I wish he'd had Nurse Beans.
Nurse Beans?
Yep, Dr. Frank and Nurse Beans.
Oh,
Frank and Beans.
Jesus.
And this was the point where I kind of made note, there are so many Americans in London.
Yeah, because doesn't Dr. Franks, does he live there?
I guess so.
Oh, man. They couldn't have put, one British character as a cop or something. Just come on.
Wonder Woman!
This movie wants you to know they filmed it in London, too. They're like, well, look at this, look at this, look at that.
Oh, queue up there, governor. Get your hot salt beef here.
Get your hot salt beef. There should have been a scene with Jericho eating hot salt beef.
So, they go to the pharmacy, and he tells this is where you find out about the emotions, because he tells the pharmacist to faster the fuck up.
Oh, but first he kidnaps Dr. Frank.
Kidnaps Dr. Frank, pins him with the van.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, he hits him. He supposedly pins him, but the way that shot looked, he hit him.
It looks like he crushed it. I was scared for Tommy Lee Jones for half a second.
I thought Tommy Lee Jones was pulling an Undertaker and just no-sold it. Tommy Lee Jones' ego got in the way. He's like, I'm not selling that. He didn't hit me stiff enough.
So after he pins him, he takes him to the pharmacy so he can get more of the drugs that are going to help with his cloudy head.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tells the pharmacist to faster the fuck up, and then apologizes for it. And he's basically a moment where he's like, sorry, not sorry.
Right, because he says, that was Bill talking. I would never say sorry.
This is where you find out that it's not just the memories, it's the emotions, which is weird for him because he's never processed emotions before. And he even says, I've never had use for them.
Yeah. Got no need for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he gets fucking bamboozle ambushed outside the pharmacy by the CIA agents, but he remembered about Mike's bad ankle.
Yep, just crushes it like in the grossest, crunchiest way.
Oh, guys, we sound like we're having fun, but we didn't have fun watching the movie.
Did not. Although, this is where they take him in and they're doing the interrogation, and Gary Oldman tells him, "Only you can prevent this fire."
Oh no!
And I nearly died. I was like, oh, Gary Oldman he's gonna use this for his audition for the next voiceover for the Smokey the Bear PSAs.
Wouldn't it be great if the Smokey the Bear thing was just a clip from Criminal of him saying only you can prevent this fire?
Yelling at Gary Oldman's voice, yep.
Well, yeah, he would have to be yelling.
Because that's all he does except for the last 3 lines of the movie.
Yeah. Okay, and I gotta at this point, did Jericho become more primal in this scene? Because he looks at the screen, because he's got like they set up a slideshow.
Well, because they're telling him all the stuff that they're going to give him if he goes along with it. Like, he can keep the money for the Dutchman and all this, and he's like, there.
Beach. I want go beach. I was like, what?
Scarf. Jericho wants scarf.
But like, why does he suddenly get like that? That made no sense.
Because everything else in this movie was just spot on with the logic.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He just suddenly turns into a babbling idiot, like, out of nowhere.
But he does go along with it because he says, yeah, fine, you can go to the beach, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, Alice Eve is there too, by the way, just so in case you forgot.
With one of her 3 lines.
Yeah. No, isn't there okay, I know this is backtracking, but I really need to mention this line because they never touch on it again. In the original scene where the surgery happens, right? Mm-hmm. There's a very brief scene between Alice Eve and Gary Oldman where Gary Oldman said, "Bill came from nothing." And then she says, like, "Didn't you?" And they never go back to that.
Oh, they never go back to, like, his possible origins or how he clawed up from where he started, sort of thing?
Nothing.
Yeah.
That's literally the only time they mention it, and I thought that scene was, like, accidentally left in the movie. Like, it was a deleted scene that they forgot to cut.
Like, there should have been other scenes to explain what she was talking about?
I'm guessing there were other scenes that were cut. Maybe. But
well,
it was
2 hours, so yeah, I can see that. But
oh god, can you imagine the original cut of this movie? 3 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah, we watch it though, it's like, you know what, that made a lot more sense. That was a much more fun movie to watch.
That was better than The Godfather. Okay. So yeah, they agree to let him keep the money if he leads them to the Dutchman.
And then they take off, and while they're in transit, they think that they spot the Dutchman at like an airport.
Because great movie science moment.
Facial recognition.
Yeah, he edits live security video.
Yeah.
Okay, Swarthy McFaurin, who's still at his like computer, which I don't think you see him move from very often.
No.
Edits live security camera footage at the airport to make this guy look like the Dutchman.
Yep.
Because he knows it will make some of the CIA agents go off and get distracted, so they can in turn catch Jericho. Because again, he has access to every camera everywhere. So every scene we've talked about, Swarthy McFaurin has watched it.
Yes.
Like, he's watching the movie with us.
Pretty much.
He watched the pharmacy
He's pulling
scene.
a Darth helmet.
And he's very lucky that all the cameras also have audio on them.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case with the British CCTV. I'm pretty positive they only just have video.
Yeah, I don't think the pharmacy would spring for audio.
No.
So, yeah, like you said, they get distracted by this goon at the airport who's not the Dutchman. And thus the baddies jump the car with Jericho and Alice Eve and some other goon.
And they're going to put him on ice. That was
Right.
the second time Gary Oldman was like, kill Kevin Costner.
Yeah. Oh, I think he's the biggest villain in this movie.
He's Gary Coldman, I told you.
Gary Coldman. Yeah. Oh man, this movie is fucking perplexing. It is frustrating me. And
Say the least.
I am all kerfuddled.
I've never seen you this tore up about a movie and how frustrating it is.
I don't know how to go about it. Like, Alice Eve dies in this scene.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, she gets killed right after Jericho. Right after Jericho says, "Hey, give me your gun."
Give me your gun,
and then shot in the chest.
Plug her, yep.
Jericho crashes his van into the water,
which made me think, you know what? I hope he knows how to swim or Bill Pope knew how to swim, because if neither one of them knew how to swim, he's dead.
Mm-hmm. Which he still struggles to get out of that van.
Yep, and he cuts himself on the way out.
Yep. And like, oh my god, everything that happens in this movie is like just so a later thing can happen. Do you know what I mean?
It's all plot convenience.
Everything.
Yeah.
Every single thing in this movie is plot convenience.
Well, yeah, because he cut himself, he goes back to Pope's place to fix himself up in the basement.
No character has any discernible trait other than their occupation or like one aspect of their personality.
Yeah.
No character, you don't know what a character is thinking because we don't know anything about what they Calm
down, Brendan. We're almost through it. We can get through this together.
Okay.
So we go back to Wonder Woman's place. This is where Wonder Woman and Green Lantern used to live. Is that helping?
Oh my god! I never even
Is that helping you?
thought about that. The Marvel and DC universes have crossed.
No.
Oh wait, no.
Green Lantern.
I
didn't say Deadpool.
I meant I was thinking Deadpool. Yeah. Sorry, anybody who heard that is a comic book fan, please don't kill me.
So Wonder Woman and Green Lantern, we go back to their place, and Superman's dad has the memories of Green Lantern in his head.
If that was the movie, if they just played their DC characters, it's so much better.
Jonathan Kent shows up, and he has the memories of the Green Lantern in his head. Wonder Woman doesn't trust him.
But she trusts him after he tells her some things that only Bill Pope could know.
Oh, he does that boop nose thing.
Okay, that part. Okay, because she says, the way she describes it, she says, Bill used to do this hilarious thing. That was our signal. And he pokes himself on the nose, and she's like, there it is.
Yeah.
I was like, that's hilarious.
I nearly died laughing when he did it.
Yeah, oh, so funny. She's like, that was the symbol that he loved me. Why didn't he just say he loved you? How did that even, originate?
I don't know. Maybe
I love you, boop.
Maybe she caught him picking his nose, and she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I love you.
That's what that means.
He was going to pick his nose. She caught him, called him on it, and he was like, no, I'm just, see, boop, I love you. Love you.
Well, I mean, Jill, it is clear that English is probably not Jill's first language, right?
Yes.
So maybe he taught her that. He was like, oh, that's an American custom.
I'm pretty sure you were picking your nose, Bill.
Oh my god. So so this is a scene where she hears all these things about Bill Pope that only Bill Pope could know, and at the same time I'm thinking, before I trust him, I would be like, this is a crazy stalker who is come to kill me.
Yeah.
He has studied my husband's life and is now going to shoot me or stab me.
Yeah. This is the part where they bury the elephant, and that's not a euphemism.
What? What was that?
I don't know.
I still don't know. I rewound. Okay, I watched this movie twice, like I usually do, before we do the podcast. the first time I just kind of like glazed over it. I was like, oh, maybe I missed something. But the second time I watched it, I rewound it a couple times because I was like, there's no reason.
I only thought it was symbolic that they didn't get the body back or something, and this was her way of saying goodbye to her dad.
You know what? That would make sense if they had said that or set that up in any way.
That's the only thing I could gather, because I heard her say that the elephant was from her dad.
Right.
And that's the trip my mind took, was that it was her way of saying goodbye to her dad because they never got the body back or something.
Now, isn't that kind of dark for like the kid to be like, well, I guess I'll just bury this toy my dad gave me?
Well, when your mom's Wonder Woman, your dad's Green Lantern, right?
And then friggin' Superman's dad shows up to you.
Yep. But Wonder Woman, she comes out and tells him to get away from her daughter, and she's going to shoot him. And he apologizes and says, I ain't always acted right. And I immediately thought of The Postman.
I have thankfully never seen The Postman.
Neither have I. I just heard he didn't act very right in it.
Oh, God.
They have this tearful exchange, and that's where they have the whole thing with the boop on the nose, and she's like, he's saying that he thought about her and he loved her, and all I can see is he is not Ryan Reynolds.
That is not your husband.
It is not your husband. It's not even your husband in like some weird face-off kind of way where it's really him underneath. It's just cerebral impulses.
Yep. I thought they were gonna kiss there, and I was like, don't you dare. But I gotta say, okay, so I mentioned a while back I wanted to mention something about the relationship between these two characters. Mm-hmm. This is where I'll talk about it. Okay. So I expected, like when he sees the reflection in the mirror and he sees Ryan Reynolds, I expected like a ghost-like scene. Mm-hmm. In Ghost when Whoopi lets Patrick Swayze take over her body and they start like macking.
They dance and stuff like that, and then they do a weird cut where it's Patrick Swayze dancing with Demi Moore.
So that's what I thought they were gonna do with and just have it be like Ryan Reynolds instead of Kevin Costner for that scene. Mm-hmm. And I gotta say too, I always thought that was so like not ballsy in Ghost that they had Patrick Swayze in there instead of Whoopi. It just let Demi and Whoopi just like
we
it up for a while.
Don't want people to think that Demi Moore has gone over to the other side for a Miss Cleo.
Right.
Call me now, man.
Because guess what, guys? In the movie Ghost, Demi and Whoopi get it on. Because that's not Swayze. That's not Swayze. Anyway, that's what I thought of in this scene, that there was going to be a ghost-like scene. And it was a missed opportunity, but a thankful missed opportunity.
Oh, we glossed over the part where the Dutchman shows what his program can do. He launches a missile from a submarine and then blows it up.
Right, that scene, yeah.
There you go, that's it. That's all we needed.
He says, that's my power.
Yep,
and then he has a hissy fit and throws everything in the room.
Yep.
He's just like, look what I can do with my penis.
So,
hey, this is another movie where a guy like has like a tall building. In this one, it's like, I've got all the nukes.
It's all about phallic replacement.
Yep. We also briefly, I don't know if there's anything to really say, but we briefly skipped over the kid playing piano with Jericho.
That's kind of, did that really have note of anything?
I just thought it was a lovely tune.
Oh, okay. Isn't it like a Christmas song?
Can he stay for dinner? Can he stay for dinner? He's nice.
Yeah. They have no idea that he frontal lobe damage and has probably killed people. Well, has killed people that we've seen, and has been in prison like most of his life.
Yeah. The kid is very accepting.
Yep.
Okay, let's get out of that fucking house.
Well, we can't, because this is where he puts together where the bag is.
Because why does he do that?
Because he has his remember moment.
Do you remember what triggers that memory?
No.
She gives him coffee, and on the cup it says University of London.
Oh, right.
Again, everything that happens is a fucking plot convenience.
And he remembers that she works there, and they have a room full of rare books where her and Bill used to go.
It's in the secret library.
Yeah. So he heads on over to the university and starts throwing rare books around.
All over the place.
We're like talking probably first printings of George Orwell's books.
You mean Georgie Orwell?
Georgie Orwell, yeah.
Yeah.
So he finds the stuff that he was supposed to find.
But then Elsa shows up at the house. Oh, we didn't mention Elsa.
Right.
Elsa is the secondhand woman.
Who apparently can be everywhere super fast.
Yeah.
Because she is in, like, the next scene when they trap him in the library.
Yep, she holds Jill Pope at gunpoint. They clearly tell her exactly where Jericho is.
Yeah.
And then her and Swarthy McForrin show up there. By the way, why does she need to go find out? If Swarthy McForrin has security cameras everywhere, couldn't he just look at the library ones?
Convenience. They apparently don't have closed circuit TV in the university library.
Of course not, because that would mean we wouldn't get the scene before that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And we go to the docks, and we have a cameo there from Stephen B. Tugboat.
What?
There was a tugboat that was coming into port, and it said Stephen B. on it. And I was like, oh my god, Stephen B. Tugboat's in this movie!
It's a famous tugboat.
He's like Theodore's less talented cousin.
So basically the bad guys at this point have Jill and Emma kidnapped. They take Jericho. They want to know where the Dutchman is. The CIA is on the trail as well. Gary Oldman's in a helicopter.
They're riding around in a royal purple truck, which I'm pretty sure is a slang for someone's dick. I'm not positive.
Royal purple?
Give her the old royal purple, governor.
You know what? I'm going to look that up as we continue. But yes, go on.
Then my next note after the royal purple is MacGyver with frontal lobe damage.
Oh my god.
Because they're in the lab and he just blows shit up.
Yeah. Thankfully, they had to walk through a chemistry lab.
Yeah.
Because
they're at a university. If it's a university has one thing, it's a library and chemicals.
Chemicals helpfully labeled and in the right order.
Yep.
Because basically Jericho says, okay, the Dutchman is on the 4th floor. It's this way. Mm-hmm. And then they have their guns trained on him, but then he says, yeah, just through that door. They just walk like 10 feet ahead of him. And they're like, okay, we'll just check through this door. Okay, now I'm going to throw all these chemicals and start a fire. Glycerin, and what was the other thing?
I don't even remember.
Yeah, it was just like...
nitrate or something.
Oh, fuck,
it was a 3 chemical combo. He threw the first 2, and then grabbed the 3rd bottle, told the lab assistant to run. She knew what he was doing. He threw it, and spontaneous combustion.
I've got nothing for royal purple for slang. I can't find anything.
It just sounds like, because that was written on the side of the truck.
Yeah,
and
I think
it
it's
really sounds like the slang for your dick.
I think it looks like some kind of car thing.
Well, you know what? It's up to us now, Brendan, to make that happen.
Make royal purple slang for your dick?
Yep, giving her the old royal purple.
Oh, I was giving her the old royal purple last night, and she turned...
She turned 3 shades of violet, she did.
Oh! Oh, man.
So, after all the stuff they were doing, going through to find the Dutchman, to get him, to ensure his safety, Pop, so much for the Dutchman.
Oh, yeah, like, almost immediately he gets killed. But not before, because this becomes important later. Jericho says, here, fix this program, do exactly what I say. By the way, I'm a genius, but I pronounce Georgie.
Yeah.
And the Dutchman is immediately like, oh yeah, I've only been dealing with Bill Pope, but that's fine.
It's cool. Yep, go for it.
Elsa shows up and shoots him in the face and steals the wormhole program. But then, in the most brutal scene in this movie, I think, Jericho bludgeons her to death with a lamp.
Yeah, it was a lamp? Okay. Because it was Jericho in the lab with the candlestick.
Yeah, because he smashes the top part of it, and then you see her head after the fact.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that's not even necessary. I got it. Like, after he hit her 7 times with that thing, I got that she was dead. Mm-hmm. But he bludgeons the shit out of her. Like, I think she gets the most brutal death.
Easily.
In the movie.
Easily, yeah.
Ryan Reynolds a distant second.
With his torture death.
Yeah. Barely a torture. Yeah, so Dutchman's dead, Elsa's dead. Jericho takes the program and heads over to where Swarthy is to hopefully make the exchange, give him the wormhole program in exchange for Jill and Emma's life.
Right.
While the CIA is telling Jericho, no, don't do it. If he gets the wormhole program, he's going to blow up the world, which is...
This is the point where I really wanted the Gary Oldman repairman to come by and just flip him back over. Oh, here's your problem. Your Gary Oldman set to yell. And then just flip the switch back, and he'd go back to acting the way I know Gary Oldman can act.
He does tone down the yelling a bit at this point.
It only goes back to regular register at the end of the movie.
When he's in the helicopter, it's a couple. There's a 1 or 2 scenes where he's like at least not screaming.
Right.
But yeah, he's telling him basically, Jericho, you don't want to do that because he's going to blow up the world. And I was going to say, this is a problem I have with a lot of movies like this. If you're going to blow up the world and topple all the governments, guess what, pal? You're going to die too.
Some men just want to see the world burn, Brendan.
Oh, that is a line in this movie, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's from The Dark Knight, and it's a way better movie.
I thought they used that line in this movie too.
Oh, I hope they didn't.
I feel like they did.
I hope they didn't.
I sure hope they didn't either. But when you said that, I remembered it as if it was in this movie, and it's been a while since I've seen The Dark Knight.
Maybe you were just misremembering because you wanted it to be better. You did give it 3 stars.
3.5.
3.5 stars.
It's, again, a total retraction.
You were on Quaaludes that night, weren't you?
Among other things, yeah.
Okay. So...
Quaaludes and Kevin Costner had a gun to my head.
This will bring me back, Brendan. You write that good review.
Do as I say and you won't get killed.
So this is where we're treated to not Bill Pope, Jericho Stewart, using the ambulance as a weapon.
Killing cops.
I know, right?
Like, straight up murder.
Oh man, there's just...
and then right after that murder, he's like, ah!
Ah!
Which I guess is their way of saying that the Bill Pope stuff is wearing off, because he also forgets names, right?
Yes. Why can't I remember her name? The kid, the baby. I can't remember her name.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's just driving around killing cops. He's our hero, by the way.
Mitchell.
Oh fuck. Joe Don Baker classic.
Joe Don Baker as Jericho Pope.
Oh Jesus, I would have enjoyed that as well.
Oh, Jericho Stewart rather. Sorry. But
Jericho Pope, is that what you said?
That's what I said.
Yeah, might as well have been.
But, okay, why was there a hatchet in the ambulance?
A what? Oh,
there was a hatchet in the ambulance.
Well, you never know when you're going to need a hatchet for a murder victim.
Or, a paramedic emergency, I guess.
Yeah, you got to cut someone's leg off in the ambulance, man. You got to do it with a hatchet.
So he crashes crashes the ambulance into one of the Swarthy's vans or whatever, and then bludgeons and hacks one of his henchmen to death.
Oh, he is just like a vicious killer.
I know. Gets the gun, kills a couple other dudes. Then he gets into the thing with Swarthy, and he's like, put it down, and he throws the gun at him like a Superman villain or something.
Yeah. Yeah. He throws it at him, and then like gets shot like 3 times.
Yep.
Also, I gotta say, for someone who just killed a bunch of innocent police officers, and laughed about it, suddenly still has the compassion to save 2 people. Like, no, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Well, the Pope hasn't gone from him entirely.
But there's still I wonder how much of that was Bill Pope being like, I killed police.
I've always wanted to do this.
I got away with that. That was like the deep-seated memories that they didn't anticipate.
And then he throws the hatchet at him and misses entirely.
Yep.
Which I gotta say, kudos to them, because, in a more formulaic movie, he would have killed him with the hatchet.
A more formulaic movie.
Yep.
Kill me.
Well, they clearly wasn't as formulaic because they didn't kill him with the hatchet.
Would you? Okay, actually, no. I'll ask you right now. Honest question: this or Hollywood Homicide? Which was worse?
Oh, Hollywood Homicide, 100%.
Wow, I would agree, but that says something about that movie. So, and like, okay, Jericho has been shot. If you count Elsa shooting him earlier, he's been shot like 4 times in the chest.
Don't forget, he's got that gaping leg gash.
Yeah,
and his hand was messed up too, wasn't it?
Somehow he does not die.
Nope.
And here comes another bonkers insane part. Swarthy takes the wormhole program, sets it up in the plane because he's like, I'm gonna give them a show. But he's been tricked.
It's a switcheroo!
Because the program is set to go back to the person who set it up. Which, by the way, that means the Dutchman rewrote his entire program in about 5 minutes.
He is a hacker extraordinaire. Computers are magic. Computers are magic, and hacking is exciting. Movies.
And also, just before that, we get more Gary Oldman freak out. Because he's like, Jericho, what are you doing? What's your daughter's name?
Man, you worry too much.
Yeah. We're all gonna die!
And then he explains it to him. Explains him what's going on. Just before everything he explains happens.
Yeah, you gotta have it twice, right? That way you really understand. So, basically, Swarthy's...
I really wanted the music cue here when Swarthy got blown up by the cruise missile that he launched. I really wanted the music cue to be like the third verse from Fire and Rain by James Taylor.
Which is?
Sweet dreams and flying machines in pieces on the ground. I've seen fire and I've seen rain.
Sweet dreams and flying machines landing safely on the ground.
We better stop before we get taken down for a copyright violation.
Oh, snap. Did we sing too much of that?
I hope not.
I did the parody version, so maybe I think that part's safe.
Okay.
Yeah, that would have been great if they had done that. But again, this movie is super serious.
Yeah. Swarthy gets blowed up.
Blowed up real good.
Yep.
And then we go to the beach because he wants to go there.
And it's a swerve!
Yay.
Because at the first of the movie, they make it look like the military guy with the M16 is going to shoot him right there on the beach.
Yeah.
And he's really just there as a precaution.
Mm-hmm.
And, Wonder Woman shows up, and we find out that Green Lantern is still alive in Jonathan Kent's head.
And I think now she's going to fuck him.
And you know what? I have it written down here. Kevin Costner for Ryan Reynolds in a trade. That does not seem fair.
No.
Not at all.
I identify as a heterosexual male, but I could see if I was Gal Gadot and I was boning Ryan Reynolds and then suddenly I had to bone Kevin Costner. Nah.
No.
Don't care if you got the same memories. That is not a fair trade-off.
That is not a fair trade at all.
If you would indulge me, Nathan, I would like to do the final exchange with you. If you would play the role of Gary Oldman,
all right,
and I will play the role of Tommy Lee Jones.
I'll do my best.
All right. So this is the end after this reunion has happened, and Jericho is basically Bill Pope now, I guess. But he's not Bill Pope because he's still Jericho. But he acts like Bill Pope, and he has the memories and thoughts. So Tommy Lee Jones, now I might have this not 100%, but he looks over at Gary Oldman and says, you going to release him now or turn him loose?
No. Going to offer him a job.
The end!
Fuck this movie.
Angry Gary Oldman is just, I'm going to give him a job.
Real quiet, subtle, and subdued. The only time in the movie.
In almost any other movie, that character would have been killed.
Yeah, because he knew way too much.
Oh, are you talking about Tommy or?
No, Jericho.
Oh, yes, but I also mean like in another movie, Gary Oldman's character would have been killed at some point because he's one of those like he's technically a good guy, but he's still a huge asshole.
Right.
So he would have been like shot down or something. I even thought at one point Tommy Lee Jones was going to die in the movie because in that pharmacy scene, Swarthy has a very ominous line where he's like, Dr. Frank. And he's like, hello, Dr. Franks. And I was like, oh, shit.
Goes nowhere.
Nope. Doesn't ever interact with him in the movie.
Nope. Just like, he climbed up from nowhere. Well, where did you come from? Or something like that.
That's it. Dropped.
Yeah, that's it. Dropped forever.
Dropped completely. 100%.
We'll save it for the sequel.
No chemistry between any actor with any other actor in this movie.
Right.
None. Nobody looks like they want to be there, which I don't blame them. And I would also...
My bank account wants me to be here.
I would also argue that if it weren't for this cast, this movie would have been straight to video on demand.
Yeah.
With a lower budget, obviously, but still. Nicolas Cage turned down the lead role, guys. Nicolas Cage said this movie is too stupid. No, I can't do it. Doesn't make any sense.
Look, if you're willing to put a scene in where I'm dressed as a bear and I punch a lady... No, Nick, we're not doing that. This movie's too stupid then.
If I can't punch women, I'm not in.
Dressed as a bear.
Dressed as a bear only, because then it's not sexist.
It's speciest. Like, is that a word? I don't know.
Speciest.
Speciest.
Yeah, let's say it's a word.
Okay.
Well, Nathan is going to debut this this segment this week because
yes, it's a new segment, and we are calling it "Don't Take Our Word for It."
Don't.
Because you should not take our word for it that this movie was absolutely dreadful. Because even the positive reviews for this movie were still pretty terrible. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to take a sample. And, yeah. Remember, now these... I'm gonna give you some bad ones. Gonna give you some good ones. Gonna start off with a technically a good one.
These are all blurbs from Rotten Tomatoes, correct?
Yeah, from different reviewers that are listed on here. Now there's one from contactmusic.com. I'm not sure why Contact Music is reviewing movies, but
any movie that has soundtracks they review.
I guess. Almost criminally entertaining. Pun, pun, pun. This preposterous thriller mixes buckets of humor and emotion into the violent and twisty action. 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5!
For something that's almost entertaining. He leads the review with almost entertaining.
It was almost good. 4 stars out of 5.
Almost good.
That's insane.
Empire Magazine. This one's a bad one.
Okay.
They gave it 1 out of 5.
Oh.
We can but pray that scientists invent a procedure to remove the memory of ever watching this film in the first place. Snap, what a cat.
He is a cranky bitch.
The Sydney Morning Herald. Now, I'm guessing this is like Sydney, Australia, so I'm going to do this one in an accent. Okay. It's lazy, corrupt, and slazy. Filmmaking, the kind of film that's killing the business. 2 out of 5.
Killing the business? Is he a wrestling promoter?
I guess. I don't know.
It's killing the business.
2 out of 5.
Wow. Two for that review.
Yep.
I didn't even see a shred of positivity in that.
No, that one's too... Oh, this is the one... This is a positive one. They gave it an 8 out of 10, but I think this person was watching 3 Days to Kill and not this movie, because it says, in Criminal, Luc Besson manages to bring back Kevin Costner and turn him into the action hero he was born to be. Luc Besson had nothing to do with this movie.
Guess what, guys? This movie wants to be a Luc Besson movie, but it is not.
Yeah. This is the final one I'm going to give you here. This one's a bad one, but it's kind of funny. The real mystery here is how such a talented cast accepted to appear in such a terrible movie.
I would agree.
That's 100% spot on.
That's a mystery, and it can't be money, because I don't think this movie had that big of a budget.
Well, no, but I mean, still, you're paying for Kevin Costner and Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
And Tommy Lee Jones and Gary Oldman.
It's amazing cast. Seriously. Even like she hasn't done a lot yet, but even Gal Gadot is like a star on the rise. Yeah. Okay, I have a little excerpt I want to read from RogerEbert.com.
Okay.
About Criminal. This is a theory. Here you go. We were just talking about this. This is a theory about how this movie may have been made. Criminal is the kind of dunderheaded enterprise that leaves viewers reeling from the idiocies they have just endured, wondering how something like that could possibly get made in the first place. Although I have absolutely no proof that any of this is true, I do have a wild speculation regarding how it came into existence. My theory is that 25 years ago, during a break towards the end of production on Oliver Stone's controversial epic JFK, co-stars Kevin Costner, Gary Oldman, and Tommy Lee Jones got together to remark about what a calm and easygoing set it was and how they should all get together again someday. Eventually, a pact was formed. A quarter century from then, they would have a reunion that would involve one of two things. If all three of them had won an Oscar by that time, they would spend a relaxing week or so hanging out and reminiscing about old times. However, if even one of them was still Oscar-free by then, they would instead pledge to find the dumbest and sorriest excuse for an action movie available and waste their time and talents on it instead. I admit this may not be the most plausible scenario imaginable, especially the part about Oldman still not having an Oscar, but it makes a hell of a lot more sense in this film and is frankly more entertaining to boot, which should give you some indication as to how rotten it really is.
Ouch.
That is a solid theory. If we all don't have Oscars, let's make a shitty movie.
It seems like the kind of thing that actors would do.
And those are the three, I'd say those are the three people in the movie with the most screen time.
Yeah, and the most cred. I mean, really.
Oh, yeah, definitely the most, yeah, for sure. Oh, God. So I guess now comes the time where we do a little teaser for next episode. Mm-hmm. But before that, I want to announce that coming up. Well, where are we? This is to be the 24th. Coming up in March, because we are both, like a little bit. We like wrestling a little bit. A little bit pro wrestling.
Every single episode has had at least 5 wrestling references.
Yeah, if there's been an episode without a pro wrestling reference, I don't believe it.
We failed as podcasters if that's the case.
Exactly. So March, because March is the build-up to WrestleMania, which will be at the very beginning of April.
It's our Super Bowl, damn it.
It is our Super Bowl, and it's like 7 hours of wrestling, and I don't give a fuck. So in March, our first episode of that month will be a really bad WrestleMania. We haven't decided on it yet, which one it'll be, but it will be a really, really, really awful WrestleMania that we'll talk about. Then the second one will be a terrible wrestling movie, and that's all I'm going to say about that. It's going to be a really, really bad wrestling-themed movie that Nathan is super stoked about.
Oh.
That is the universal sound for being
super
stoked about a movie, by the way. Super stoked. So that's what we'll be doing in March. The tentative plan for April is, back a while ago, I asked for a bunch of viewers' choice. So basically I asked you for a bunch of suggestions. I got a huge list. And I think in April we're going to do that. And April is going to be a special month because there will be 4 episodes in April. And it will all be viewers' choices. I think what we should do with that is just put them all in a hat and just literally draw them out.
Okay.
I mean, that's like, if we put it to a poll.
Good suggestions.
I excised a few because of overexposure on other podcasts.
Okay.
But don't worry, a Serbian film is not one of them.
I would flat out refuse. I'm just putting that out there in 100% seriousness. Flat out refuse to do it. Okay?
It will not happen.
If you ever want that on the podcast, get a special guest host to be with you that weekend. I will not be doing it.
I'm not going to do a Serbian film because that would mean I'd have to watch it again. Okay. Yeah, I've seen it like 3 times.
Ugh.
I've forced people to watch it when they lose bets.
It's that kind of movie.
Yeah. Big shout out to Alex Donovan who lost a bet on the Oscars, and I forced him to watch a Serbian film. Okay, so that being said, we have another one coming up in 2 weeks, and let's just say that for the first time ever in this podcast, my clue is we will be traveling to the Marvel Universe. Yeah.
Intriguing.
So, I mean, there's no bad Marvel movies. I don't think. I think it's a flawless. We're gonna crack universe. That. We're gonna crack that egg. We're gonna open it. We have it wide open. All Marvel right. Universe. We may or may not. Was that also a hint? No, I was just gonna say we may or may not. 75% have a guest. We have it set up. I just don't want to say we do and something might happen, but we're planning on having a guest.
Well, it's just you said we were going to crack that egg, so I didn't know if that was a hint as well.
I meant we're going to crack that egg like everybody's saying, like every single Marvel movie is great. Mm-hmm. Guess what?
I can think of 3 that aren't.
This ain't one of them. But anyway, I have a question for you.
What's that, Brendan?
Well, with the amount of great actors in this movie that signed on to do this drivel, to the movie science explained by a British person to make it sound smart,
right?
To Gary Oldman yelling for 2 hours, to a movie starring Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot.
I believe you mean Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, and Jonathan Kent.
Sorry. To a movie starring Green Lantern and Wonder Woman when they're in the movie for 10 minutes.
Right.
I have to ask you.
What's that, Brendan?
What were they thinking?